Hello, welcome to Figure Form 45. Thank you for your time checking my video. This is my review of the Sadie Toys Mark 33, or just like what my mousepad or gaming pad says here, the Silver Centurion. If you are new to my channel, please leave a like and subscribe if you like my videos. This will really help me a lot in making more of these videos. Now please enjoy. First, let's check the packaging. So that is the front, side, the other side, nothing on the top and bottom, and that is the back. Now, what I like about these Sadie toys is that their packaging is so amazing that it gives the product a very premium look, which is very ironic because this basically costs less than a Marvel Legends. And it is actually very collector friendly because it has this magnetic flap here. So it can be open, and if you wanna store your figure, you can just easily store it back and close it. So very amazing packaging for 3D toys. Now let us unbox this. So as I said, there's a magnetic flip here, so you can easily open and close the figure. So from out of the box, the figure is in a clump shell, and below it, this is another thing that I like about CD Toys. It gives you your own stand, and it has alternate hands and blast effects or booster effects. And since this is the Silver Centurion, it also has that blade, which is unique for this armor. So you can also take that off. So again, for its price, this is a pretty neat packaging. It looks like a mini Hot Toys. Now looking at the details of the figure, man, this is amazing. It is made with a glossy finish, so I like that. The red glossy finish is very good, and it actually has a lot of sculpted details. So for the head, yeah, yeah, so it does have a lot of details there. I don't see any problem with the painting. So for the chest, again, nice detail, and they could have just left that into a blank, but if you will see, there's still detail in there, so that's good. I don't know if they're going to be releasing an LED version of this, but I'm not really a fan of LED because you know when I put the figure away, if I tend to forget removing the batteries, and that causes a problem. So as a rule, I'm not really into LED with my toys. So the Silver Centurion have a very unique design as compared to the other armor. I mean, just look at that shoulder armor. This is unique to the Silver Centurion. Now I know that there are other versions of this armor going up wherein they reuse this, but whenever I see this mold, this design, I always think Silver Centurion. I think this have a blue version, but uh, not really sure. So for the hands, I mean, look at that detail. Man, it come on, you gotta admit this looks like a mini Hot Toys. I Overall, actually, when it comes to Sadie toys, Their releases for their Iron Man figure are actually the one that I like. But on their other characters, I think they release Wolverine, Venom, Spider Man. They're something's kind of off with them. They don't really look that good. But when it comes to Iron Man, they're really the best when it comes to details. I mean, just look at that. It looks like a mini hot toy. Yep, definitely an amazing aesthetic. Now we go to the articulation. Now, admittedly, this is the portion where CD Toys is kind of weak. If I'm not mistaken, the articulation of this Iron Man is basically the same as their other previous figure. I think that's the portion that they need to improve. Um, to me, honestly, I buy this figure because of how they look. Although I'm the kind of collector who really like articulation, this is an exception for me because you will never find Marvel Legends creating an Iron Man figure looking this good. But admittedly, I articulation is one of the is where this brand becomes weak, and I think that is why some people don't collect this, which is understandable. But yeah, as I said, I usually buy this product for how it looks, and to be honest, for me, I think the articulation is enough. You just really can pose him in some extreme poses, but the basic is there. So for the head articulation, you can look down that far, you can look up that far, left, right, then side to side. So as expected, same articulation as their previous Iron Man figure. Now for the hand, this goes, I think this is connected to the shoulder. Yeah, so same style as their previous, which is I think is good that this is connected here. And then this, I know this usually pops up. Yep, I think you heard that click, which at least somehow I think add to the articulation because of the design of Iron Man's armor. I think that's a good feature that you can pop that up, so you can do that. Can do that. Well, it doesn't look that good, but when you're posing it, maybe you can hide that. I'm not that good when it comes to posings, but I think people who are good at posing can work with this. So that, and then there's a rotation here. Then here, this is where you see the limitation. This is only the range of the hand articulation here. Then this typical arm articulation. Anyway, yeah, you can do that tifo. So that's for the hand articulation. And as I expected, no changes there. Now for the chest, if I'm not mistaken, this is gonna pop up. Oh, it doesn't? Does it not? Oh, surprisingly, it doesn't. Or is it just hard on my case? Whoa, it doesn't pop up. I don't know if it's just my copy or if this doesn't really pop up, but for my case, this doesn't pop up. Because if you've seen my other review of the Iron Man from CD Toys, this usually goes up to add, pops up to add some articulation. And in this case, it doesn't. I don't know if it's broken for me or it's stuck, but in my copy, it doesn't. So that's instead of adding articulation, that's one less articulation for this figure. Please comment in the leave a comment if your copy doesn't also pop up here, because that means that CD Toys is going backwards instead of forward, because they removed that pop-up picture here. And just like their other Iron Man toys, it doesn't have voice articulation. There's no cut here. So yeah, that's one weakness. You can only do that here. Now for the leg, if everything is the same, this should have a drop down function. Okay, good. That there's a drop down there. And then there's articulation here. There, it's just kind of stuck. So there's a waist swivel there. Then that's all the range you'll have for him here. Then no toe articulation, so that's the range that you'll have as far as the articulation here goes, which is understandable because of the design. Then it can go forward that far. Yep, can only go forward that far. Can go backward that far. So again, pretty limited. Then it can do the bend down up to that only because of the design of the armor. Okay, so basically no improvement on the articulation. Instead, actually, there's one less articulation because this doesn't go up. Nah, I don't want to force it because if it's just stuck with the force that I just used now, it should go up. So yeah, it doesn't in my copy. So like I said, this is not the most articulated figure or brand. When it comes to action figures, we can say that the selling point of this product is its aesthetic, because man, that looks good. Now, when it comes to accessories, there's really nothing new here. Uh, Typical are alternate hands given, then the typical standard blast effects given, then the stand. The only thing good here is this one, so let's see how these blades look on him. To put it, you need to remove this. And then put this. Yep, that looks good. And you can do that on both hands. So for my final verdict, as expected, this is another release of an Iron Man figure from Sadie Toys, which they did not change anything on the articulation, so no improvement there. But as I said, this is one good looking Iron Man figure, especially for a Silver Centurion. Now, in my case, actually, what I like about Sadie Toys is they are releasing armor version that have not yet been released by other companies. So I'm just hoping that I will be able to complete the whole of armor with their releases. So, and basically, I'm gonna be displaying them. My plan of displaying them is just they're just standing on a vanilla pose, so articulation is not really a problem for me on that case. But I do know that some people are dropping this line because after all the time that CD toys have been out there, we never really saw any improvement when it comes to the articulation. So I don't know about you guys if that's something that will be okay with you. But for my case, I like the aesthetics of Sadie Toys, and for their price, I think I am okay with it. But I do hope that they go back to their drawing board and improve on the articulation of their product, because when it comes to looks, this is the best looking Iron Man figures that I've seen. I just really wish that they improve on the articulation. So overall, for me, this is still a good figure because, man, it really looked good. And anyway, if you guys have reached this part of my video, thank you. And I hope somehow this review of mine has helped you decide on whether you want to buy this figure or whether you want to, go into the Sadie Toys line. Um, and again, guys, thank you and take care of yourself.